Well, it's allowed to record. It says you should be able to record. Oh. I was gonna report you, but I wasn't sure. Get nothing to share on the screen. Zoe, can you see if you can share something too? Because I changed a lot of the settings on this just from getting Zoom bombed the other day. So I just want to make sure you can still share. Okay, perfect. It says it's starting. Look at that. Thank you. You good? Okay. Stan, did you have a chance to eyeball that?
Not really. Sorry, in a bad spot.
Hit the record button. I already did that. Okay, so we're gonna call this meeting Thursday, July 17th, 2025 of the Deep River Planning Zoning Commission. It's 7:06 p.m. To roll call, and Anthony Baldock, Chair, Mr. Pete Maria.
Here.
Alan Parody. Here. Tim Puglielli. Here. Stan Reinheimer.
Here on Zoom.
Marion Stay.
Here.
Daniel Smith. Here. John Castner was here, but I think he is ETC. Okay. On to audience and citizens. Citizens may address the commission on items that are not on the agenda. And the reason I'm going to start with the letter that just came in, handed in by, let's see, Mr. Ginder, Mr. Stewart Flynn. They asked that it be read into the minutes, but I had you guys reading because it was such a lengthy letter. If you guys are okay with that, we'll just pass it on to Zoe. That's what I had you guys eyeball first.
Tony, it's a little hard to hear you.
Okay, sorry, I was facing the wrong way. I was just asking if the commission members wanted this read into the record now that they've read it, or if we're just going to pass it on to you.
I'm okay with passing it on. I've written. Are you make motion for that?
Yeah, you might as well.
It should be included in the minutes, though.
Yes, it's like.
Yeah, so that's, I made sure Nancy got it also. Okay, so you guys are good with just passing it on to Zoe. We received it. You all read it.
I'll make a motion that considering the board has read the letter individually, that we will not have to read it in minutes. That we. It'll be submitted to the minutes, and we have read it. This thing was read out loud. Yeah, and reading it out loud is not required. I second. Yeah.
I was going to go all in favor.
Aye.
Anybody yes?
Who would want it?
All right. Okay. More audience citizens. So once you're here, again, you guys can talk about anything that is not on the agenda. You'd be so kind as to raise your hand if you have anything to say. All right. If not, on to approval of minutes. So we have May 15th, 2025 regular minutes, regular meeting minutes. I'm assuming everybody had a chance to read those. Anybody want to make a motion?
Make a motion to approve.
Looking for a second? All right, everybody in favor?
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Okay. Minutes approved. On to public hearing items. So item A, special permit application over 4,000 square foot total build area in the Gateway Commission, or in the Gateway Zone 16, Brockway Ferry. Brockway Ferry Road, map 73, lot 3. The applicant is Peter Sims. Is there an applicant here to present?
Sure. Not sure what you want.
Just give us a feel about what you're doing. State your name for the record.
Sure. Pete Sims is my wife, Nancy Sims. Thank you for having us. 16 Brockway Ferry Road. We want to add a 14 by 24 prefab shed. It'll go on a traditional crosswalk base, so no excavation, no trees have to come down. It'll be low. We got a reasonably sized piece of property, just under 3.3 acres. So this is, you know, a polka dot on a piece of property. We presented to the Gateway Commission about a month ago, and they unanimously approved what we were looking to do.
And I think there's a letter in the record for that.
There it is.
Yes.
All right, since it's a public hearing, a bunch of people here, I'll start with citizens. Anybody want to speak in favor, against, just general? People online too? Okay.
Just a general note, everyone should speak up for, I don't know what's wrong with we don't usually have this issue, but everyone just sounds very soft, unless it's just me, and then maybe it's something wrong with my computer. If anyone else online is not having that issue.
I'm struggling
you-
to hear too.
Okay.
Yeah,
I'm-
okay. The right one. I'm gonna switch microphones. Just let me know if this helps or not.
That sounds better, at least for you speaking. Everyone good?
Okay, you guys, can you hear that?
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah, that's much better.
we're gonna leave that alone. Okay, where were we? All right, so we're, Zoe, you were gonna say something?
Nope, I was just saying that it was hard to hear before.
I thought there was more to it. Okay, on to commission members. Questions, comments, concerns? Okay, yeah, fire away.
Are you gonna put lights on the outside of the building?
We have no plan at this point. Now, we did talk to the Gateway about it. They said we had to do dark sky compliant, which we would most certainly do if we went that direction.
Thank you.
And I can tell you, it's gonna be beautiful. It's gonna be very fitting. And it's gonna blend with the house and the property.
So I'm just gonna read a couple bullets. Just so you guys have this on the record. So it is within the
I'm on a meeting.
area management overlay. And
It is not.
so the Brockway Ferry one is in the coastal area management overlay.
Oh, but not the 100-foot buffer.
So, right, so, but it's not within 100 feet of tidal wetlands. It's less than 1,000 square feet, so it doesn't require coastal site plan. They have gateway approval, which they wanted, if lighting is added to the proposed development, Connecticut River Cog, or excuse me, the Connecticut River Gateway Council requested deeper planning zoning commission. Ensure that the lighting adheres to dark sky lighting standards outlined in regulations 14.44410. By using dark sky compliant lighting fixtures, bulbs, motion or timing sensors to minimize light pollution. They also have CRAD approval and wetlands approval. So just want to make sure that y'all good on that. Promotion, you guys are good with us?
I'll make a motion to approve the what's public hearing.
So you have to
Just
make
Yeah,
a
you're
motion to close.
Sorry,
the public
oh, I'm
hearing.
sorry, no worries. Look for a second,
Second. I'll second. Yeah.
I-
all in favor?
I-
Aye.
All right, on to item B, special permit application, over 4,000 square feet total build area in the gateway zone, 35 Winterberry Road, map 72, lot 8C, applicant Tom Hall. So is there an applicant here to present? Same goes for you, gotta give me your name, give us your board. You're looking for the same general concept shed within the gateway zone?
Right.
It's just going on crushed stone also? Is it also just going on crushed, I mean, you don't have to do any excavation, right? It's just going on the ground?
Yeah, it's just, I can just show you, that's a little easier. Basically, this is the building here, it's actually down across from the stick market right now, part of Atlas, you know, like guard. So that's the building that he is gonna take apart, put on my property,
All right.
hopefully.
Yeah. All right. Citizens, questions for the applicant? All right. Commission members, questions, concerns?
I think Gateway also approve this.
I got bullet points for this one too. All right, so I'm just gonna, same thing. This one's actually outside the coastal area management overlay, and again, does not need a coastal site plan. They have health district approval, they have wetlands approval. Gateway has made the same comment, but I will reread it. So the Connecticut River Gateway Commission requests the Deep River Planning and Zoning Commission ensure that the proposed development adheres to the dark sky lighting standards outlined in regulation 14.44410 by using dark sky compliant lighting fixtures, bulbs, motion or timing sensors to minimize light pollution. All right, so I need a motion for that one. Public hearing, there are no more comments.
Motion closed.
All right, second. All in favor?
Aye.
You guys. On to item C, text amendment application regulation amendment to section 4.31 and 7B39. Right?
Apologies, do you want us to stay or?
We'll actually vote on your application just in a bit. So, regulation amendment to section 4.31 and 7B39 to add food trucks, and the applicant is Deep River Planning and Zoning Commission. So we've been back and forth about this. We're kind of stealing Clinton's zoning regulations to make this work. And so we're just at the public hearing stage at this point. So questions, comments, concerns, citizens, you're more than welcome to chime in on this too.
Can you briefly summarize what it is for the folks that are here?
Oh, I knew you were gonna ask that.
Just briefly.
So,
I can ask it if it makes it easier, I can.
oh, go
Can you give us an overview of what's going on?
Hey, thank you very much. I'm gonna blame Zoe for this one.
Are you mansplaining me?
What?
So, they want a brief overview, and I was ill prepared for that.
Oh,
So basically, we're doing food trucks in the village district, the commercial industrial district, the turnpike industrial district, and the preservation recreation development district. And so they would have to get a zoning application to get food trucks. And there are a few of them around town, and the discussion has come up, if I get a pizza truck at my house, do I really need to come to planning zoning? I would think by the time it was complained about and left, it would be too late for you guys to check it. So it's really for like bigger stuff like the muster and that kind of thing. So that's the briefing for that.
I can quickly highlight the couple of changes that I made from the last time this was discussed.
Please.
There was only a few that were this was based on feedback from the commission in May. So the first was to add it to the PRD zone, with the assumption being that, sometimes people might have things at parks. The next was changing this to part of the process getting approval from the selectman's office, the same as currently is done for the solicitor/vendors permit. So in our regulations, it's the hawkers and peddlers ordinance still. That is in two places. And then the final thing is just to draw attention to this and make sure that everyone is in a general agreement with the hours. And everything else is the same. There are three categories for the food truck kind of definitions and uses. So there's stationary, where you kind of leave it in one place, so that and that has its own definition. There's event vendor, so that's specific, and then seasonal outdoor use. And these are the corresponding proposed permit type. So also just things to review and consider before voting. So
What's SB, ZB and SB?
So special exception that comes before the commission, there's a public hearing involved. Zoning permit is, they just go to the zoning enforcement officer, get a permit, and site plan, which is SP, comes before the commission, but does not require a public hearing.
and the thinking behind this was that event vending is the most temporary and would make sense to just have the administrative. Seasonal outdoor use, would likely need at least a site plan review to make sure that whatever the plan for the outdoor use is a reasonable one. Whereas a stationary vendor that is seeking a longer term stationary use may require some additional either public hearing or at least conditions from the commission, depending on what the proposed stationary vending use looks like.
I have a question. Two questions, actually.
Go.
Well, I thought that we determined that we need to find out what existing businesses have food trucks that are after the hours that were stated in that section. But I don't see any changes to those hours. I mean, already, I think that, not to pick on a particular business, but I think I-9 is within that, because it's 9 o'clock, they close at that time.
Yep.
I'm not sure about, down at the Winterberry district, living at the music venue. If they're bringing food trucks, with the hours to be for that. So my question is, should it be, depending on which of those zones, like different time frames? Now, we don't want people there till midnight in a residential zone, such as the I-9.
Yeah.
But the turnpike zone, if it's appropriate, maybe it could go until 10.
I mean, it does kind of say you just have to be cleaned up and out by 10. It's, you're supposed to stop and keep it out to clean up. So I guess if you ran a little over, no one's gonna split hairs there.
I mean, should we have it at 9 PM right now?
And breakdowns shall be completed by no later than 10 o'clock. But I feel like you go too far into that. Right, I mean,
Hours of operation should correspond to the limits of operation for some of the businesses within the zone, but cleanup is, a separate activity. That's not gonna draw traffic. It's,
Yeah, so not really, I just, I'm thinking of the turnpike zone in particular, which is developing and turning into its own music venue type of zone with the school and the school, multiple schools actually there now. And I'm just not sure if those times line up with that. And then Rescue Rail, do they do anything outside as well? Or would that fall under a different?
they have a permanent food truck.
Yeah, but is that, where does that fit with this for the time?
well, they're kind of skating the regulation because their food truck is attached to the building.
Yeah, that's.
Yeah.
But it's not permitted as built.
Right.
So it's a food truck. But it'd be a non-conforming use since we never took action on it. So it's not part of the discussion.
Well, I think what he's saying is if they're open till 11 o'clock or 12 o'clock, should the food truck in the commercial industrial district
Yeah, I want this word for it.
be open till midnight also? What's that?
They're not open that way.
Who?
No, huh.
Rescue
Rescue
Rail?
Rail?
What time do they open till?
Right now, the entertainment and the morning,
Oh, okay.
and pretty much they close it. Right now.
Yeah.
Pretty consistent with that.
Yeah, I think the only thing I'd be concerned about is that the operation of a, seasonal use or food truck, special occasion, whatever should correspond to the permitted hours of operation for similar brick and mortar business. It shouldn't be extended. But same thing as once it's shut down, cleaning up, business can be open till 10, but they might be open, there's people working there till 12 to throw away food or whatever goes down. So I wouldn't see any regulations that would differ from a similar permanent business.
Is there anybody in town? Your restaurant business?
Yeah, no, not currently, but we don't, you said it's very good, it should be in alignment with brick and mortar. We need to say that? Or are these time constraints enough?
I didn't think we should, because otherwise, if the time constraints are potentially different, because we have arbitrary times, I assume that these were in line with other businesses, uses in the area, but it should not be an exception to operating times.
I mean, that's my point. I just feel, we discussed it before, and I just feel they're still arbitrary. And I don't want to interfere with existing businesses, and I don't want to.
That's right. It's like if it's a, if it's an advantage of a business to be open after hours, if you have a food truck versus a brick and mortar, it's an unfair advantage to people that are operating full time.
Right.
It's also something that a resident in a butter would not have been able to plan for if we're allowing it to stay open later than, another similar business that's in a permanent location.
Well, the delineation by, from turn by, you could delineate the times.
That's what I was just gonna look at. What we have for times in restaurants.
I mean, that delineation is actually a beautiful thing. Into it.
Yeah. So obviously, that a special exception, there's discretion of operating hours. If there's one that's by a zoning permit, then you can't make that, discretionary call in terms of limitation.
So you're jumping ahead to my next question. That was the thing.
I'm just leaving it, I'm going to straight.
No, I may have to go bring this up because it's not great on the phone.
All right, well, I'll go, well,
Pull that up.
March 1. Okay.
Maybe wrong.
yeah, all right. At this point, they haven't had food. But if they want to have.
But again, I would say if there's no limitations on the operating off hours within a zone for a similar business, then we wouldn't enforce it for a food truck, right? But if there is a limitation on it for a business, then we would have the same corresponding limitation on operating hours. So if our regulations are silent on it,
I don't see anything.
Yeah,
then I think we address that.
well, then we add the line, keeping these arbitrary hours for now, they can always be amended, which is a pain, but then say. These hours or in alignment with the brick and mortar operating hours. Is that stricter?
It's perfect, though, too.
That's correct.
Okay.
I would go with that.
Did you catch that, Zoe?
I'm
Sure.
only catching the gist of the conversations. If you send me notes of it, I can make the correct updates.
Is it still the microphone or?
You're loud enough, but the farther back it goes, the more fuzzy things are.
No one's ever told me that I'm not allowed. That's a beautiful thing.
Okay, I'm gonna have to.
And we never will.
Okay, all right, so we're gonna,
I like the line that Alan said. I think that it fits better, it's like either we use these arbitrary hours and I don't want to play the game of figuring out what would be, I guess they fit. But we should just amend at the end of that to say those hours or in alignment with the operating hours, the brick and mortar.
okay, I am fine with that.
That's. That was my own thought of that.
Okay, any more discussion on that? Or do you think we can close the public hearing on this?
No, because I have one more question.
Oh,
I
go ahead.
just wanted, I want, but this one's put to bed, she can add that, right? So the second one is, so we're saying now in this state that it's on both sides, right? It's like you have to get a permit as a truck. So that, and you have to get a permit, when you hire the truck. You have to get, no, or just the truck gets the permit.
Yeah, it's just the truck. That's
Okay,
as far as I'm.
Well, I was saying, because when I was reading it, when it's talking about events, it's like the event wouldn't have to go and get. Right, okay, I just wanted, that was clarity for me.
I've got one simple comment. On the seasonal outdoor use, it's June through September. Would we consider June through October? I mean, if the weather's.
Well, it's realistic, you know, with all the kids events, they're school year, and it is September and October, and then by November it's too.
Yeah, so I'm suggesting just bringing it out till October
Yeah.
for special events, because
Well, why is there a date? Because why would we have a food truck for a New Year's event or a Christmas event or a Halloween event? It seems, it doesn't matter what time of year, it's the use and the location.
that's even better.
I agree.
So just take seasonal out.
I would, because I was thinking the ones in Madison operate all year round.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's a
restricted,
permit
it didn't make
process.
sense. Yeah.
It's a permit process and the time of year, I think is.
Did you get that, sorry?
I don't think she's hearing us at all.
No, I got some of it. I
Okay.
might have to just talk to Tony and get what was missed.
Okay,
I don't have anything else, that was the only stuff I had experienced about.
very good.
That's all I.
Okay. Citizens, anybody? Well, the citizens are, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Mr. Kendall. Oh,
Yeah, I do have a comment. I think that I agree that it should be year round. The only exception, I think, that should be that if there is snow forecast, that it should not be on public streets. And so I think that somehow there should be something in there that kind of clarifies that.
I don't know that we can force.
Well, Deep River does have bans on public streets, so I mean, I just think that reiterates that, you know, if there's a ban on public parking on the streets during the snow. Food trucks are here. Yeah, I'm not saying that at any time, but there's
Right.
times when Deep River says no public streets, so I don't think that.
Yeah, that one would cut Deep Rivers.
Yeah, I know, it's covered. You couldn't be parked on in front of the
But we could
town market.
just reference that to the code and Deep River, reference it back.
Okay, yeah, you're right, because it is,
That's my.
That's who we.
it's in the ordinance, so yeah.
We don't need to write it, just reference it back.
I heard the snow conversation. I just had to flip my laptop so I could put my ear against my speaker, so I apologize.
Yeah, just one clarification. Does this include like little waste dumping, like if a food truck like dump like oil or grease down anywhere? Like a street, whether is there anything like that to prevent such heinous action?
Yeah.
I'm just concerned about like when food trucks like empty out their trash at the end of the night, that some of them might get a little lazy. They're just gonna dump it with the.
There is something in
There is, I was gonna say, there is
I
something.
just want to make sure, I can't read it from that far away, so I just want to make sure something, I know. I apologize.
But you did sit at the far end, I mean,
You know, it's out of respect to the planning members of this commission, so. I would just wanted to make sure that that was in there, because I've seen stuff like that happen before, like, the grease or oil just be dumped in like the nearest garden bed.
or catch basin.
Yeah, so, all right, we're good.
Thank you. All right. Any other questions, comments, concerns? It's not, we need a motion to close that public hearing.
Almost to vote.
I'll second.
All in favor?
You did going once, twice.
You're right, I did, I said,
It's too hot.
I'll get on the next one.
Too much.
All in favor?
Aye.
Anybody opposed? All right. Item P, presentation. of the amended Deep River Plan of Conservation and Development. Applicant Deep River Planning and Zoning Commission. So this commission and quite a few others have worked on the P O C D for the last 2+ years.
Yeah, we skipping the sidewalk ordinance.
What's that?
You had information here on the sidewalk ordinance as well.
Amendments.
Is it, isn't that covered in the same topic here?
I thought that was under,
This is what we're in still.
yeah, that's on number 6. We'll get there.
Yeah.
We're getting there. We're getting there.
Sorry.
No, you're good. So P O C D, I want to, first of all, I just wanted to say thank you, everybody, for all the input you've had, all the other commissions that have helped. We have got positive approval from the River Cog. Thank you, Zoe, for taking all of our blathering and turning it into this fantastic document that everybody's got, or had a chance to look at. If anybody wants to see it, I do have a hard copy here. And, so we're just looking for public input. You guys have read this, seen anything you think we missed? That would be great if you guys chime in. I think the intention will keep this public hearing open the next month also, so even if you haven't read it, you still have time to do so.
I have a comment.
Missing anything?
Well, no, but at the last meeting, we addressed it once, because HB 503
Yeah.
had gone through the state house and to the state senate and was waiting for the governor. And there are several things that were in that bill that we would have had to amend to our P O C D. Since that time, Governor Lamont has vetoed that bill. However, there's a good chance that a lot of those will come back in October, in the autumn. Some of those things may come back. And so I'm just noting that we're aware of that, and when those come, we will amend as necessary.
Yeah.
You have a question about that?
HB 503
Yeah, so it's the affordable housing, a lot, it was a consolidated bill, almost all the bills they've been working on through the fiscal year, right?
Is that the one that homeless people can sleep anywhere in public?
It was,
That was included in them.
there's a lot of things in it, mainly it makes commercials can be turned to residential by right. Parking would no longer be a requirement. There was a lot of things that didn't apply to a town our size, but there's just a lot of items that went through. We're taking some control away from the towns and away from this commission. Just would have been adding a lot of as right. And the big one that I was concerned about for our town, and we're doing things with the selectmen to identify this and be ahead of the game, because we will be required to identify where we could put affordable housing. We're doing that on our own. We've been very proactive as a community. And they also, due to the fair share, which had been its own bill, that was rolled into that, and that was stated we would have gained an additional 230 units in the community on top of the 230 or 200 and some that we're supposed to have for 830G. So that's like 400 affordable units that we don't have. Keep in mind for members of the audience, we only have 2,100 units in this town. So adding 400, almost 500 units first 890 would be troublesome for our community. And the result, there wouldn't be carrots, there are a lot of sticks, and so the punishment for that, I mean, basically it's a tax base, we just can't afford to do it like that. But it didn't go through, it was
Yeah.
vetoed.
Didn't go through yet.
It didn't go through yet, which is why I'm discussing it now, we are aware, we made calls on it. And we will make amendments as necessary. I was actually prepared at the last month's meeting to do a presentation on it. We didn't have last month's meeting, it was canceled because of the holiday, and then it was vetoed, so I didn't have to do the presentation, so I was kind of happy about that. That's all I have to say for that section of conservation and development plan.
Just messing with that.
You should try to forget to speak.
Just in case. I just changed one thing. Maybe that helped.
Okay.
Okay, anybody else?
Yeah, so you're saying it's like open for another month. What kind of comments are able to be like permitted at this time, or what kind of changes can be made to the plan? Are you guys expecting like grammatical revisions, or is this like?
No, I mean, you can come up with something that we can completely.
Maybe all of everything.
Okay, just a genuine curiosity.
No,
That's it. If you think something was missed, you want to add it. This is the other month.
Awesome, thank you.
all right. Nobody else has anything else? We'll motion to continue this. The next month.
So.
Second,
Second.
all in favor?
Aye.
All right. All right, on to old business. Item A, special permit application over 4,000 square feet, total build area in the gateway zone, 16 Brockway Ferry Road, map 73, lot 3, applicant Peter Sims. You guys have all had a chance to look at that for the comments. Anybody, any more discussion? Anybody want to make a motion?
I'll make a motion at the right time. I'll make a motion for 16 Brockway Ferry to approve the addition of a shed on their property.
For a second,
I'll second.
anybody, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Anybody opposed? All right, congratulations. Thank you all.
Enjoy your sheds.
Thank you. All right, on to item B, special permit application over 4,000 square feet, total building area in the gateway zone, 35 Winterberry Road, map 72, lot 8C. Applicant says Peter Sims, but it should actually say Tom Hall. Any discussion on that application? Not, for motion,
Motion to approve.
for a second,
Second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay. Approved. On to item C, text amendment application regulation amendment to section 4.31 and 7B39 to add food trucks, applicant deeper planning zoning commission. I just gotta go back through a couple of things that we did. We wanted to reference the parking ordinance. We wanted no monthly limit, so it could be all anytime, any month out of the year. And the time frame would either be the time limit here called out in this or the underlying related zone. So if there's a restaurant, they can stay open until 2 o'clock in the morning, the food truck can stay open until 2 o'clock. I think that covered everything, yeah. Looking for a motion, if there's no more discussion.
Yeah, there was a couple of minor typos. I've got to give it.
Oh, you got typos, all right, and we're gonna include Tim's typos. Okay. Motion,
Motion to approve
With change.
with changes.
Second.
all in favor?
Um,
Anybody opposed? Okay. We're not moving on, or not moving forward with the P O C D. On to item 6A, updating the sidewalk ordinance. So we went through the whole sidewalk ordinance and the board of selectmen took a look at it and they were concerned that some of the restaurants and other people they weren't addressed in the sidewalk. So a lot of people leave their stuff out on the sidewalk overnight. And they would walk home at night. And it's kind of, you gotta maneuver through everything. So trying not to pick on anybody specific, but there are a couple chairs and, picnic tables and umbrellas that are in the sidewalk path, so you're kind of like maneuvering through everything. So they were curious if we could address this in a way, or if we could add something that says you have to take your stuff in at night. I'm not sure we can address that right now, but that was the consensus.
Then choose it. If we give somebody a permit to operate outside, that's usually what's within the permit. I mean, we own a business that's not in this community, but that's, we have to get the permit, but once the permit's there.
Yep, we don't have to take any action. We
I
can stay
understand
on.
that.
I'm just letting you know, that's the feedback I got.
I'm just trying to understand where do we have problems with stuff on the side.
But like, I think they're concerned about like Haley Joe's gets a little tight there, and so they leave their stuff out there. They do breakfast and then their stuff is out all day
So
long.
it's basically like,
Yeah,
would you leave your table outside for it's the restaurants,
Yeah.
right? And would you put, or do you have to put them close to, that would be our choices. Do you have to put them away every night, put them close to the building, or you can leave them where they are? That's what I would say.
my opinion, we're messing with something it's also the state's right away. Their stuff's not supposed to be there.
Yeah, I don't even know.
So why are we looking at that? Yeah,
Precious has to go to the public way, and I think you need to leave a minimum of 6 feet of clear space on the sidewalk. If there's more than that available, if you can leave, then it should be permissible. But you've got to allow people to pass on the sidewalk without being obstructed. It's public rights, which which would trump an individual business's rights. Right.
If I may interject, my memory of the discussion, this was not around the restaurants, it was about some of the retail stores who, particularly one in particular, a resale shop, which is leaving an inordinate amount of materials out at night. That's where the focus was.
I understand. I was trying not to focus on one area.
Yeah.
I picked on the restaurants. Yeah.
So per that, and something that I did mean to omit, even with the permits that we have to use stuff on the sidewalk, that doesn't allow us to leave trash out or whatever. And we've actually received citations at our business on Mother's Day of all days. You know, we have a lot of trash going out because, you know, a bag versus what your retail business is, those are not two different, you know, trash is trash. So with that said, if we are allowed to, same thing in the public way, we could delineate it by type of business.
And I don't think we can, because
No.
public rights are public rights. If you want, if a sidewalk is there for people to use the sidewalks in a safe way, on a correct way, you can't say, well, a flower shop is allowed to leave stuff on the sidewalk, but a resale shop is not. You can't distinguish that. It's about maintaining the public way. You know, it has less to do with the end use than it does public use of the streetscape.
So to build on Alan's, if there's a regulation out there that says there must be 6 feet.
Yeah, there.
Isn't it as simple as there must
Yeah,
be
it's as
6
simple
feet
as this.
and be done?
Right, it's like the snow. You know, we can't say, you know, they have to move the snow, but you don't have to, you know, because you're a resident. You still have to move the snow outside.
But if we were to document the 6 feet, if we were to, then basically that applies to 24/7, not just after
Yeah.
business hours.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it should, if the regulation for safety 6 feet, it should be. So I don't know how wide that, I mean, I've never measured a sidewalk up there.
Right. Well, let's dig out.
I would go 6 foot, because if you have 2 wheelchairs passing, you can pass comfortably. It's kind of in line with the building code or normal, normal use.
Should we do a little bit of measuring? I'm just curious who we're gonna, all of a sudden, Hamlet Joe's can't do anything.
Well, no, that
It's,
could happen.
And businesses on Main Street, pretty vibrant. So I just,
Says it's state, is that state?
He said he just, so the building code says you need.
yeah.
Building code?
And no, and I'm not saying that it's a code thing. I'm
Oh.
saying it would be a best practice
Gotcha.
in terms of accessibility in a public way.
is there,
There is no rule right now, in any way. We don't have anything right now that says.
We don't know because we haven't looked into it. I think, nobody here has memorized all of
The
it.
discussions.
I have one. So minimum sidewalk size for Connecticut DOT is 5 feet.
Right.
So if we maintain DOT standards, you have to keep 5 feet clear. That's
Right.
And this would go in the ordinance,
just,
not the zoning rights.
yeah, the sidewalk thing is an ordinance, so we could just, and we don't even have to state that, we could just reference
Well,
DOT standards.
But that, again, that would be consistent with even any other sidewalk permits, like, again, with our business, we aren't allowed, like, we can't block the sidewalk. You know, we can't put stuff all the way across,
Yeah.
where you have to go out into the street and around. You know, we're only allowed to go so far out.
do we want
And we actually do haul it to get it done.
to do a little research on that 5 feet or?
Oh, I know, I know the sidewalk thing is 5 feet, but let's see if there's anything more, like you could block a foot of it,
Yeah.
let's get the actual,
Number,
the
The
second in general.
best way to do it would be to reference any other standards.
Yeah.
That makes it enforceable by zoning if we wanted to enforce it. If there's an issue that someone says they're approaching too much and I can't get through this area, you can find standards, whether it's DOT or ADA
Do our public
requirements.
works,
What's that?
public works have standards for sidewalks and roads?
our public works,
Yeah, a document.
Right.
And,
Not sure, I haven't done a subdivision since I've been here, so.
Yeah.
That one,
I think it's like,
from.
if we try to start writing this, include everything, we're gonna miss something there, and we're gonna overregulate.
Yeah.
But if we by reference say, it's like with a lot of our regulations pertaining to restaurant use, we'd say you could even comply with Department of Health. We don't have to rewrite their regulations. But if they're in violation of Department of Health, it gives us the recourse to revoke a permit. So,
We don't have to
Right,
grant a permit. If there are certain types of businesses, well, you're right, that it's maybe only conducive to certain types of businesses. Restaurants, eateries.
Yeah.
So it's not even-
But we live
that.
if it's in a zone, it's permitted in the zone, that's the use that's
Well,
permitted.
right now, there's no doing stuff on the sidewalk permitted in any zone, it's just something that exists.
I think there's outdoor seating in the village.
Outdoor seating, you're right,
Yeah.
right, there's outdoor seating, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it just happens that it is on the sidewalk, but yeah, you're right.
And that evolved from COVID.
Mhm.
And, you know, we could look back at it and say, see if there was a time period associated with that. And we can revisit it, determine whether we want to adopt that as a, you know, permanent, as a right use, you know, within zones, but you know, make no one follow.
Well, I mean, but the key there is, you say we don't want to overregulate, you know, if we start putting, you know, 5 feet, 6 feet. Then it does get rough, you know, like, what if one business, one business can't fit a full table there, that big, smaller shape, you know, that sounds pretty rough when you start putting out hard. Right away.
Well, they do exist in other regulations.
Sure.
It's just standards. And it just means if there's a problem, you can enforce it by reference to.
But also, you can't block the sidewalk fully, you have to allow for passing.
All right, well, let's dig, I mean, we're kind of stuck on the same spot. We'll dig that up.
Well, the other one is
Kick it to
maybe
next
we're restricted to types of businesses, which I'm sure some people may be upset with that, but. It isn't like you just come in, I mean, that's why we have to really process it. There needs to be some. There needs to be some decision factor of who you could be awarded a permit or not. And
Richard, I just
Yeah.
looking at it.
I've never run into, I don't know, regular,
So
so
you
you
want-
have to retail, we have to put stuff outside.
So you want to be able to, you have a table outside, but you can't smoke recreational marijuana outside of the table. Is that the nuance we want to make is?
Well, that's not nuance, that's pretty, you're going, I'm trying to go along the way and get it as high up as possible. To say, if we're having complaints from the community, you know, from the selectmen about. Certain types of objects being left on the sidewalk as opposed to other types of objects. Then the thing would be, well, what type of business they're doing, you know, how do we regulate that?
So you put new clothing out, but not used clothing.
Yeah, this little shirt was outside.
I'm just saying, is that-
I have it to work.
You start to nuance that type of thing and you get into your.
Yeah.
Well, you just say, you shall maintain, I want to say public access, but it's not that. It's
Yeah, right.
right.
That's what I want, yeah, that's.
And make
I
it
think to Tony's point, you're already required to do so.
Let's just reference it.
If you reference it, then we can enforce it. And that's,
You can verify this, but AI is saying 36 inches for Connecticut regs.
I don't trust it.
Yeah, it's.
We just did it CGS 7-11.
I wrote all that stuff, don't trust it.
Yes, 7-11.
Okay, 7-118A.
I will double check. Okay, if we're good with that, we'll bring it back up after we get the real thing. So it'll be on the next meeting, since this is going into business anyway. On to reports, ZEO, update on Deep River Farms application.
it said postponed in the materials,
Yeah.
postponed previously for today, not postponed now to another time.
There's two things. So there's always gonna update us on what they've started as of right. Their special exception will come next month.
Oh, sorry.
You're muted.
Totally.
Can't hear you, but I can read your lips.
Tony, you may have messed with the speaker. I'm not trying to.
Oh, now it's my fault again, huh?
Yeah, she's probably trying to talk to us all along.
Hold on.
She's muted. She's muted.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah. Totally.
Yep, it was my fault.
Oh,
Okay, you're good.
wait, I'm gonna put my headphones back in because it made it much easier for me to hear you guys. So 1 second.
Tony, stop messing.
Good. See, I'm leaving. Go see one thing. Since we're messing with everything.
Nah.
Looks like so has legs now.
I wasn't sure because we're freaking jamming the thing downstairs. Didn't know if anything came on. So
Can't hear her.
Can't hear you.
On a cell phone, so that helps. Yeah, she's.
So if you use your headphones, we can't hear you.
Doing that.
Tony, why did we hear before and now we can't? What'd you do?
We got nothing.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
You can?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, so the headphones just are apparently only work one way. Okay, so basically when they submitted the application, they submitted a narrative that had many components. But when I looked at the zoning table, I read the SE line basically commercial agriculture, which was part of their initial proposal, is a administrative use. So I separated out the commercial agriculture and livestock and poultry uses and the agritourism and activities uses. And so the special permit is specifically for the agritourism and activities. The other caveat to that is that we did inform them of how the last owners had issues with getting DOT permits and that they needed to get the proper permit from the DOT in order to have entry and exit for parking on West Elm Street since it's a state road. That's the like short of it.
All right. Fred, I see you got your hand up, and this is not a public hearing, so I can't let you chime in. They will be on the August meeting for public hearing.
Okay.
Okay. Anything else update wise, Zoe?
That was the biggest one that I just wanted to make sure to address, since when we started with it, I had put it all under the special exception permit. But the only thing that would trigger special exception for commercial agriculture is if they were pursuing having an employee live on site. So I put that in the conditions of the administrative permit, that they understand that not only do activities and agritourism require a special permit, but so does that aspect of the commercial agricultural use. But that's
Okay.
not something they're pursuing.
Okay,
Can I ask a question?
please.
What happened to 105 Road? Did I miss something?
That's me.
Can
Yeah,
you repeat
wow.
that? I'm sorry. Now that I don't have my
Mary
headphones in, it's
Ann
hard to
asked
hear.
about Tim's project, and
Oh,
I want to give an
Yes.
update.
Yeah, I can speak if you want.
Yeah, please.
Yeah, so it required a special permit because it was over 4,000 square feet. Sure. But my wife told me since we moved in, our house cannot be 4,000 square feet. I never listened to her. I finally went up and measured it, and it was, the second floor was grossly wrong. So I contacted our assessor, what's her name? Robin, and she came to an official measurement, and our house is not 3,500 square feet. It's 24,855. So my house was overstated by a lot.
So you said, all right,
So they brought it way below the 4,000 square feet. So I created all this. Angst.
I have to say, I was imagining, because you put the site plan on, and I was looking at it, it didn't seem like that, but maybe there's an extra level down
It's
there.
3 floors.
I thought maybe, yeah, that's, because you're talking about your garage down at the bottom. And then your garage, and then two-
This is the case of listening to your wife, but from the day we moved in, she's like, "There's no way." Because the upstairs, I never go up there. It's just a small upstairs that's got 2 bedrooms, a small bed. And the roof has got those angles to it, so it's very little square footage up there. And so,
And I always liked your house because when driving by,
It's a cute house.
it's a cute little house.
yeah.
And I liked it because it was small.
Yeah, so it was.
I really thought you'd have like some bunker level or something down there.
Yeah, so my, I've got it cost me about 4 months and, you know.
I didn't know.
Yeah. So that's the deal there. So
So we split this into two permit applications as the ZP had already been approved for the agricultural use that is as of right, and we have a pending special exception for the agritourism in
Yes,
other portions.
yes.
So are we going to, so the application that's in right now, that one is essentially void. That's been split, or you approved the as of right activities from that, and we're pending a new application for the special exception.
So I split it out, and they submitted a new form. Let me take a look. I have everything in there just because, oh, the narrative they provided still covers everything. If it will help with clarity, I can have them provide a narrative that just is focused on the agritourism and activities.
They also, you mentioned the DOT and Joe Ren's working on planning with the state. We cover that? Okay.
Excuse me, Tony, if I can just ask a question, because I believe I'm an adjoining landowner, and I've never gotten any kind of official notice from these people as to their plans.
Okay. Again, it's not a public hearing. Once it is a public hearing, you will receive, so once they post the sign and mail out the notification for the next month's meeting, you'll get all that stuff. There's a time frame for that. You will get a copy.
No, I think I've got it straightened out now. Yes, this is the difference between the May and the June applications. And looks like the June application is a narrative, so that was intact. All right, I got it squared away.
Okay. POCD, I'm assuming nothing else since that's on our agenda. Attorney. Haven't heard anything from him, have we? Put you on the spot.
No, well, I don't know. I mean, there's some attorney updates, but I don't know which
Relevant.
yeah, at this moment.
Okay, we'll skip that for now. Chairman, I have one thing to bring up. It has to do with our attorney. So I haven't, well, there's a couple of FOI violations that have happened. One of them is going to require going before the Freedom of Information Board. So just wanted to update you on that. I can't say much more than that, but there is that's going on. So
Towards our committee,
just me at the moment.
just you.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Thanks. Nothing like being the chair.
Good to be king.
Oh, it is.
Or Vice King.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. What do you think happens when I go? The budget, we're not doing budget. Rivercog Housing Committee.
All right, so the Rivercog Housing Committee meeting last month was all about HB 5003. So we went through a lot of things, and then a week later, it was, or so later, it was vetoed. There will be no meeting this month. However, there is the Regional Planning Committee meeting, which by the last Regional Planning Committee was also about HB 5003 and then other, things going on in different communities. I will try to attend on Monday, the Regional Planning Committee, but I have a medical procedure set for Monday. And I need to know, do we have an alternate? Did Stacy get appointed to that position and she accepts? Or can she attend? Maybe? Can you?
We're not gonna get into it yet.
Can somebody speak for Stacy? Would they be that brave?
Would you be? I'll send her a text.
Yeah, we
So
can-
it's like Monday.
Yeah, I'm kind of planning, but I'm probably gonna be on some really high end painkillers, so it might not be a good idea. That's all right. It's like it could be great, or it could not be a great way to represent the group.
You always were.
No, not that high. These are the good ones.
Jesus Christ. RPC meeting.
The good ones. So that, yeah, that's Monday at 7.
I think there's. I have they are sick, I haven't done.
I don't, they might be early.
Whilst you're looking that up, anything else from the,
I have it at 7.
okay. Maybe that's right. Okay, any questions about the housing committee? If not, payment of bills. There are 2 bills, right? Or just one? Didn't we have one from Ken? At one point? About, what the hell did we ask him for? He answered some questions that we had.
Just get the headphones back on.
Yeah, you can't, the headphones are killing it.
Hearing and talk, can't do both, sorry.
Like watching a silent movie.
We need a piano. All right, let's do this. So we'll skip the bills for right now. We'll go to adjournment. That way we can get everybody out of here, but I want you to stay on so I can mess with the audio to get this corrected.
Yeah,
So,
this has never happened before. I don't know what is going on.
but if everybody's having trouble hearing, let's try and straighten that out, but let's adjourn the frickin' meeting. So,
Do you check your settings on the Zoom as to which device is the microphone is sometimes will default to your, another device.
yeah.
If you detach the device, you may have to reattach your current headset.
Damn mouse.
When all else fails, reboot.
Yeah, good artist.
So there's, now the mouse doesn't want to go. This is not happening there. All right, let's real quick, let's adjourn that we get, like, people don't want to stay.
Motion to adjourn?
Get the frick out of here.
We have a second right as citizens.
Oh, no.
Sorry.
Sorry, brother.
Can I amend our agenda to include
Second audience citizen,
a second audience of citizens?
you can do that.
I would offer that just a second.
You want to second that? Okay. In favor?
Aye.
Okay. Audience of citizens.
Mike Dinello, 209 Main. Just 2 quick things. One on the sidewalk thing for food for thought. I think the concern is about having, when we rent a business on Main Street, we rent the particular square footage of the landlord, correct? How does that spill out into a public walkway? In other words, if we had an adult.
But you're right, the sidewalk doesn't belong to land. I mean, that's state, this road belongs to the state.
Right.
Actually, it's out of house, you know.
Yeah, but if it's an adult bookstore, how does that work out? When you guys start talking about.
There are regulations for adult, there is activities and, you know, you can't have any products for adult activities, way to allow that in one particular zone or town. But there are stipulations that are specific to that use.
So the other quick question. When a citizen submits a letter to be read to the board.
Yep.
What's the protocol and the legality of it? How did that work tonight? Just out of curiosity, how did that work? It wasn't read to the public.
So it's actually, it's a zoning enforcement action. So
Okay.
it's really just for Zoe.
Gotcha.
I wanted to make, because there was so much to this, I wanted to make sure everybody had read it. And if they wanted it read into the record, we would. So. Trying to beat the democratic buttons.
And it will be part of the minutes from their file.
Yeah.
So entered into the record as we did is the same as reading it out loud.
Okay,
Thank you.
Just say for.
Yeah. Okay, adjournment? Anyone?
Motion to adjourn.
Second?
Second.
All in favor? All right, motion or meeting adjourned.
Hey.
Thank you, guys.
808, that's pretty good.
I am. So Zoe, don't hang up or don't hang up. I'm just gonna stop recording.